Hey YouTubers, it's been a while. Back with the 99 Aurora with another video. This one's for brake booster. So I noticed it was bad when I was pushing the pedal and I got an annoying like vacuum leak hiss, and it also feels like the pedal's very spongy. It kind of like, as you're stopped at a light and you hold pressure on it, it kind of sinks down to the floor, kind of like as if you lost your brakes, but you can stop fine. So I'm pretty confident it's the booster. I'll find out after I change it here. If not, then it's the master cylinder, but since it's got that annoying hiss, I feel like it's most likely the booster. So that's what it looks like when it's off. The manual says to just remove the master cylinder, but I could not get it out without removing a lot more things. So I was going to point those out quickly. I removed the air intake hose, the throttle body, so that the master cylinder could move farther. It's resting on top of the throttle body. This is the ABS module, controller, whatever you want to call it. It mounts right here. Down in there, you can see down there, there's a little hole for a socket, and then you got two studs up here. They're both 10 millimeters. And this plug has like a metal clip that you lift up. And it's still on the piece right here. This little piece. So it kind of like flips up like that. So it's off. You fold it down to tighten it. And then it's also got two little tabbies. Sorry, my light. On the back side, down there, that clip into it. I unplugged this from master cylinder. Let's see, what else? It's very hard to get the camera in there. Here we go. Get some more light in here. So down in there, underneath this heater core line, there's a 13 millimeter nut down there on the outside, and that allows this to be able to wiggle, which I had to move it this way to make room for the booster. I left it on there, just loosen it is enough to move it. Let's see. And then this wire harness was in the way. The original routing for it was kind of like here. So you gotta lift it up over this and pull it up to get that like extra inch, and that was the end of it. So that was the very last thing I moved to get it out. Let's see. This little piece has to get unclipped too. Mine broke. There's also a retainer down here for the wiring harness to give it some wiggle room. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the coolant reservoir tube is here. Move that. And then I opted to not undo the throttle cables, but they're definitely in the way since they mount right up there. And fuel lines were definitely in the way as well. I have them disconnected. Where is it? Down there. So I opted to take the throttle, whatever bracket here. It's two T40s here, and then there's I believe it's a 10 millimeter right there that mounts to this bracket so that you can have some wiggle room. And the cables go down in there. You can barely see. I don't have good luck with removing those, so I usually break them. So I did not want to disengage them, so I left them in there. They're still pretty tight. You'll have to like play with the master cylinder to fish it under there, but that's the method I chose. You also got this fuel line here, the evap one. You squish these tabs and it kind of like deforms the circle, so you can pull it out. It's on that one. These lines are off a Cadillac, so they're a little bit different than the original. And then you got your brake booster, check valve, hose, which should be like one of the first things removed, and then the master cylinder. First thing is 15mm on both of those nuts. I left everything hooked up. I mean, if you need a master cylinder, it'd be good time to change it. It would be out of the way. The brake lines do have a flex line down in there, so you don't have to worry about bending them as much. Right there, it's like braided, so that's nice. I think that's about it from the engine bay. On the inside, you have to remove the trim pieces. I took all the way down to this piece. It's 410mm, and then the other pieces are pretty self-explanatory. So it is very tight getting these in and out. So this is the original booster. It's kind of what it looks like when you're looking at it. So what I did, since there's like not a lot of ways to grip this, and it's pretty heavy to pull out with your fingers, I made a little wooden handle and used the nuts from the master cylinder. I basically used a paint stick from Home Depot. I just cut it at 5 inches and then drilled 2 holes. So it gives you a nice little grip so that you could, you know, fish it out, since you can't really grab it. It's so awkward. I'm gonna go ahead and try and film this pointing in, but it's kind of hard to hold the camera with one hand, and it's kind of a two-hand job, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So there's kind of a little bit of tricks to like fishing it in and out. I'm gonna try and show you. Oh yeah, the torque specs for the booster starter, 24 foot-pounds for the inside, goes in there, and the master cylinder nuts, 20 foot-pounds. All right. See if I can get this set up here.